What is up, y'all? I am Cole Wright, your host of the Three Wiggle Golf Show, where we talk shop, always go for it in two, and never ever three putt. First, thank y'all for being here and supporting the show. If this is your first time tuning in, every Monday we release a new episode. That is our weekly wrap, where we talk about the previous week in professional golf, who won, who lost, who's trending, and then we give our expert picks as to who we think is going to find themselves in the winner's circle in the upcoming week. Along with that, we'll have guests on the show a couple times a month to talk about their life, business, and love for the links. And this episode is our 13th episode of our weekly wrap. Valspar Championship. Spencer's having a kid tomorrow. Well, Spencer's not, but Spencer's wife is having a kid tomorrow. So this will probably be a little bit of an abbreviated episode. We record Sunday nights after the tournament. So let him get a little more sleep as he's gotten comfy. The last year, maybe just right out of having some regular night sleeps, but he's about to get back into that newborn infant way of life. So,
Yep.
yeah,
Exciting, but yeah, about to have our worlds rocked again.
that's for sure. And Lillian is obviously just she's there, she's ready. She's like, let's do it, baby. Let's get this thing out of here.
Yeah, she is. She is ready. She's excited. So
Yeah.
it's
How
been
long?
good.
How long was her? She labored last time, right? She didn't have a C-section with L.
Yeah, no C-section. She got induced last time, and
How long?
we've got the induction tomorrow.
How long did she labor for? Do you remember with L?
So we went in on Monday morning at 7 a.m. last time, and she had her Tuesday at 7 a.m. Like right at shift change. So
Okay.
it took her a while last time. Um,
Expecting
this
that to
week,
be a little
this time,
faster.
yeah,
This time
we're a little
around.
further in, so I don't expect it to last quite as long this
Okay.
time.
So anticipating a Monday birth then, March 24th, baby.
Yeah, that's what
Okay.
we're anticipating.
Okay. Cool, man. Well, I'll be excited to hear the news. Yeah, man. So Valspar Championship, it was another great week. Really solid tournament. Um, Tight, tough golf course. And for the first 3 days, there was really nobody. The leaderboard wasn't really filled with all stars. There was one or two guys up there, but then Sunday, everybody just started. The guys started coming out of the woodworks in the top 10, where mostly big names. The big one that I was really wanting, I was hoping would get it done was Jacob Bridgman, dude. Led it through 36, and I was like, is this cat gonna do it? But
Yeah, that was your backup pick too, wasn't it?
it was, yeah. He was
Yeah,
my he
yeah.
was my dark horse. Um, yeah, we'll touch on that. So I've clawed my way back to now a 4-3. I was at a 4-1 deficit. Now 4-3, which that got a little dicey too, actually. Um, After like the first
Connor's
six
finished
holes,
nicely.
he did.
Yeah.
He finished nicely and they both shot 2 under today. He and Tommy Fleetwood. So I'm feeling better about it, not being so far behind. But
Uh,
yeah, man, it was a great golf tournament. JT was right there, obviously. Bummer for him.
yeah. Snake pit got him.
Snake Pit got him, man. And something told me just the way Victor Hovland entered the week, and then the way he came out every single day, just not making a lot of mistakes, and the scores not having to be ultra low. I was kind of like watching him today. I'm like, I just feel like he's gonna get it done.
Yeah, I feel like he's kind of come a long way. I think that same Victor from 3 years ago, probably doesn't win the tournament, even though he was probably a better player 3 years ago. You know, as far as driving and iron, everything like that.
Yeah,
Um, I think that same guy, he probably, after he loses that lead to JT, he doesn't convert those putts that he converted and hit the shots that he hit. I mean, he was pretty much just flagging everything with his irons and wedges. Um, it was cool to see him battle back after that. I know, JT kind of fell back and ended up kind of giving it to him by making that bogey on the last. But
yeah,
uh, yeah, good to see out of Victor. A great player.
yeah,
You want to see a guy like that be playing well. I mean, not this year. I would rather him play poorly this year for Ryder Cup situation.
yeah, yeah. Right.
but he's a very likable guy, someone
Yeah.
that you want to cheer for. So good to see him get back to form. Um,
Yeah.
he was kind of had a slow year last year. He contended pretty good at the PGA, but other than that, you didn't see him up there on the leaderboard
No,
much. This is
nothing.
the first time seeing him up there in a
You,
while.
man, he is such a kind of two things with Victor, man. He's such a physically and athletically gifted guy. He gets across the line. He's got a super shut face, but he rotates and he gets it back to square every time. And when he came out guns blazing, low am at the Masters and in 2019, and then comes out and he gets 6 wins and it's like first 3 or 4 years on tour.
hmm I think he
He did
won a
that.
USAM too.
He did. Yeah, he did.
As yeah,
And he did the same thing that Jordan Spieth did at the end of 2015, and he went and started tinkering with his swing. And I get that because I get it from the perspective of it's like, okay, how can I get better? But when you got mojo going like that,
hmm
don't mess with it until it stops working, until it stops
yeah,
producing results, like because he said it himself, man, like his swing is not technically in a place where it's going to produce consistent misses all the time,
yeah.
you
I
know?
mean, Joe Mayo did wonders for that guy on short game. That is,
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, that was his
just
biggest fault a few years ago by
yeah. When
far.
he got to the tour, he couldn't chip it for. I mean,
Duffing everything.
yeah, he was not a very good chipper, and so yeah, Joe Mayo kind of turned that around. And I mean, Joe Mayo is known as like a big short game coach, but he's also a full swing coach, and so I think he kind of felt like he got with Joe Mayo for a year, maybe two, got the short game, shored up, and then went back to someone that was more of a swing coach. And yeah, it was kind of one of those things. If it's not broke, you don't need to
Yeah.
fix it. No one was going to beat him in that
No,
tour championship that year.
oh no. Well, dude, he just he drove he at that point in time he was driving it so incredibly straight. And then on top of
hmm
that, he's long. He's got good club head
Yeah.
speed. So like it was just okay. Well, the guy's having a short iron, mid iron at worst, and he's definitely hitting irons in the most par fives. So like
hmm
the guys, and then on top of all that, he's a stallion putter.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Very good putter.
um, really good, dude. Really good to see Victor come back into form. But like you made a good point with the Ryder Cup. They've already got a strong team before you even talk about bringing him into the
Yeah.
mix.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. It has not been a good year for US as far as champions goes. I mean, we have not had many winners on the tour so far this year. There's been a lot of Europeans
A lot of Euro guys.
getting the wins, but yeah, we'll see. Man, JT, how about him? He's basically begging to make the cut in his post round interview
Yeah,
on Friday, and then
2 weeks in a row.
makes the cut. And man, he made it. He said he wanted to play the weekend. He played it pretty darn well. I mean,
Yeah.
no one
Well,
go.
had he, I heard, right as he was finishing the round, had he parred 18, he would have tied the lowest weekend score at the Valspar or at Copperhead, I guess I should say.
Yeah,
65, 66, but he didn't. He went 65, 67. So,
yeah, that could have easily been a 64 today too.
oh,
I
dude,
mean, could have very easily been a 64.
he was playing great. And with him trending in the way he is, I kind of think, okay, look for him to be maybe top five, top 10 at the Masters.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, because Augusta's not somewhere that's super demanding off the tee. I mean,
Correct.
it's fairly open off the tee, so it should fit his game.
Yeah.
If he's got the irons and wedges dialed, yeah. I mean, he's definitely someone that could do it. He putted the lights out. Has been putting the lights out really. So
Yeah. Yeah. Um, and then who else was I going to talk about? Shane Lowry, dude. Just another week of a high finish. So that guy is also playing some really stellar golf. Again, Ryder Cup. He's going to be
mhm.
there.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
Yeah, it's wild, man. The Euros got it going. They've got it going. They've something about it, but
They do.
they're,
They'll run out of fizzle by the end of the year. They get
oh,
off to
that
this
would be
hot
perfect.
start.
Right around the
Yeah,
Tour Championship, all of them fall.
exactly. Yeah, that's that's what we need to happen.
Yeah. You guys, if you're listening, you can't see, but if you're watching on YouTube, you could tell Spencer's got he's head to toe in Gator gear right now. He's got orange. I thought he was Ricky Fowler at first, but he's got Gator gear on. Obviously they're having some success through the tournament right now, but Billy Horschel, dude,
Dude,
how about
wha-
his, that was one of the greatest shots I've ever seen, man.
dude, it's such a great shot. And then he caps it off by making that putt, like a 35 footer, and
I know,
he
dude.
drains it. Like that was so, yeah, that was so sick.
So
I
good.
couldn't believe, I saw him set up with it. I'm thinking, all right, try to get something running low down there. And,
Yep.
I mean, he hits a high, proper golf shot, and it lands on the green and kind of stops about like a wedge.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Oh my gosh.
I've never seen someone hit a full shot
No, that's what
like
caught
that
me off guard the most is
before.
because it's like pitch outs, sure, right?
Yeah,
You chip it, those kind of
yeah,
things. Okay, you can really manage that. That's not all that difficult. But to get your club past like 90 degrees in the takeaway and give it a full backswing, it's like, dude, he could miss this golf ball entirely.
Oh, I would have.
I would have, dude, 100%.
Yeah,
And they broke it down in slow mo, and I'm like, dude, that's like a good golf swing. Like his hips were cleared at impact. Like he had shaft leaning like at
yeah,
impact. I'm like, holy smokes.
yeah. He's just a. I mean, he is just a stud physically, right? I
Yeah,
mean, he's like.
he is. He is.
I mean, he looks like he would just be just rock solid. Like, I mean, you can't budge the guy. And
Right.
he's probably still only like a buck 75, buck 85.
What did he
But
finish today? Do you know?
uh, I think he got it in like right at that -7 number. I want to
Okay.
say, yeah, he had a putt to
So
get to eight.
he was top 15 maybe.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
He he had a really good look on 18 to get it to eight. I want to say and tie Bud Colley at eight.
Yeah.
I want to say Bud was at eight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another guy, great to see that guy playing well.
Yeah.
Going through what he's gone through,
Yeah, roll
back to
tide, baby.
back weeks,
Yeah.
putting it together like he did. That's just a cool story, seeing him come back like that
Yeah,
and play some good golf.
I would love to see him just get one win because as we've talked about many times, I mean, dude, it's incredibly difficult to get a win on any professional golf tour just for the sheer odds of competition. Similar to that in like racing, right? Individual
Hmm.
sports where you're battling against a big field. But um, dude, I mean, you could tell he's striping the golf ball, his short game's looking really good and he's putting well. And so if that could all just come together and culminate. And yeah, he gets a tour win after the car accident, after the recovery, after the years away. Um, it'd be really inspiring stuff. That'd be really
Yeah,
inspiring stuff.
but the Florida swing was just
Great.
pretty spot on. I mean, we got good tournaments every week. You got
Yeah.
good leaderboards. Even what was the first one, the Cognizant,
Yeah.
wasn't like a super star-studded field.
No, but
Um,
there was like 20 guys within like three shots of
but
the lead
yeah,
going into Sunday. Yeah.
just got great leaderboards every week. Got great leaderboards, so that was a
Yeah.
lot of fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a fun time for golf. I hope it leads into the majors. For you know, I don't like having boring Sundays where the leader's got a 5-shot advantage, stuff like that.
Dude, I
Um,
stop watching sometimes when that happens. It's like
yeah,
when
makes it
there's
pretty
when
easy
there's
too.
six to play and they got a 5 or 6 shot lead, it's like,
Yeah,
okay, this guy has to
especially
literally epic collapse.
yeah, especially when you got family and they're like they don't usually want to watch golf. So
Yeah.
yeah, if
Right.
someone's got like a 5-shot lead and they're like, "Let me watch something else."
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
All
funny.
right. Yeah. Well, yeah, like you said, that ends the Florida swing. So now we go to Texas for a couple golf tournaments. Um, and then that'll just take us right into the major season at Augusta. So um, this week we Texas Houston Open. I won, so I get to go again first.
Yep,
So I'm gonna
you got
take
first pick.
I'm gonna take um uh, Harris English. Harris English.
It's English. Okay.
Harris English. Yeah, I haven't picked him yet this season. I think I had him as an alternate, maybe the first or second week, but I'm gonna go with Harris English. He's been playing good. Obviously got a win out at Torrey, and so
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll with him. Yeah.
Okay. It seems like this course is kind of it's pretty uh, demanding for ball striking. You got to be able to kind of pretty move it pretty well off the
Yeah.
tee,
Both ways. Yeah.
and then iron it really, really well. So I'm taking Aaron Rye this week. The
Aaron
guy that,
Rye. Old double
yeah,
glove.
yep. I should have taken him at the Mexican Open or
And he's been
Mexico
playing well.
Open, and he's been playing really well. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Aaron Rye this week. He's a super ball striker. He's
Yeah.
kind of miserable to watch on putting green right now. He's very slow. Uh, that's what, I hope he's kind of got some of that figured out. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm rocking with Aaron Ryan this week for the ball striking.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, you got to think that he's going to knock down that door sometime soon as well. I mean, he's been relevant on tour now for 4 or 5 years. Um, you see him at
Yeah,
the top. You see him at the top of leaderboards, making cuts, playing good golf. It really the whole double love thing sickens me, but
yeah. I mean, when you
whatever
strike it
works.
as good as he does, I mean, you're gonna run into a hot putter 1 week at least and just get a win.
That's
It's gonna happen eventually. So
that's
yeah,
kind of my
hopefully it's this
thinking.
week. That'd
Yeah.
be
Well,
sick.
okay. Harris English v. Aaron Rye, and then my alternate's going to be Nico Echeverria, who he's got his first tour win last fall, and
Okay.
he's been playing some good golf as of late as well. So,
Yeah.
um, and then you on
Yeah.
an alternate pick,
My alternate will be Joel Damon.
Joel Damon.
Yeah, he's got some pretty
Uh,
good finishes here. He's played solidly this year. He either misses a cut or he gets like a top 15
yeah,
finish. So hopefully if I have to, I'll run into one of his top 15.
yeah, no, that would be good. You love Joel Damon, dude. He's such a relatable guy. Um, I wish he wasn't as self-deprecating. I think he seemed to have gotten a little bit better about that. But like whenever Full Swing first came out, and he was
Uh,
being really open and vulnerable, which was great. It was also eye-opening that it's like, dude, like it's not great to be like that self-deprecating, you
oh
know,
yeah, yeah.
when you're trying to accomplish positive things. So,
Playing the
um,
game we play, it's
it
easy
happens
to be that way. I mean,
for sure.
I could shoot, a great round, and a
Find
lot
something
of
wrong with it.
times I come home thinking about, oh, well, that this was really bad today. Like, how are we gonna fix this?
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, I mean, it's understandable. This game
Yeah.
is,
You shoot 74 with three putts, and all you're thinking about is, why does my putting
yeah.
suck so bad, right?
I mean, you got Max Homa last week saying, with the way I work, I feel like I deserve to be the number one player in the world. And I mean, that just kind of speaks about golf a little bit. I mean, you can practice and practice and practice and practice golf, and yeah, sometimes you just can't find it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just not, sometimes it just doesn't really pay off. There's only so much you can practice the
Yeah.
short game and putting, and, the ball striking, especially, is one I feel like sometimes no matter how much you practice it, it's just going to be spotty.
Well,
You're either,
every day's a little different, right? Like some days, you practice so much on the range to try to create a repetitive, whether it's a ball flight or it's a feel, or like something technical. And then your goal is that the next day that work translates into better consistency. But you know as good as I do that on any given day you could show up and you've been hitting draws for a week and a half straight and you show up and now you can't hit a draw and all you're doing is hitting a cut. So you have to so then you have to let go and mentally say, okay, well, I'm going to go out and just hit the ball left or right today. And then you go the next day thinking that that's going to be the same status quo and you're back to drawing it. So now you got to go drawing it again, you
it's
know?
just yeah, it's such a big motion. And there's so many things that can go into it. You take away where that puts you balance wise, where your weight is on your feet, is
Yeah.
that making you come up out of it, or are you getting too much on your heels and going into the ball,
There's so much
whereas
minute detail
exactly.
that affect
And
the
so
outcome. Yeah.
I guess that's my point of like short game is one where the swings are
Far
smaller.
more controllable. Far more controllable.
Yeah. And so you can practice and practice your tail off on that and you can definitely make short game gains versus
Yeah.
sometimes
Harder to
the
make
full
long game
swing,
gains.
yeah, you can practice so much that it puts you in a worse spot
Yeah.
sometimes
Well,
with the
that
full
no,
swing.
that's a really great point. If you guys are listening, I want you to really take note of that. Spencer, basically what he was just saying is, long story short, is do yourself a favor and put more time into your short game. Because long story short is, and I pride myself, like I have a better short game than I do an iron game or a driving game, and I've always, in the history of my golf career, I've always preferred I've just always enjoyed practicing short game more, chipping and pitching and flops and bunker shots and putting and all that stuff. Um, but when your iron game's not there, and you're missing greens, it allows you to get up and down more frequently and salvage rounds. And on the days that you do ball strike it well and you putt, then you find yourself stringing together those even par rounds, and you might, dip under par a little bit. So yeah, practice your short game. And then you got a guy like, your point to Max was like, he just practicing so much that he feels like he should be the number one player in the world. And to your point, that's not always how it goes. You have a guy like John Daly as a perfect example. The guy doesn't ever practice, right?
Yeah.
So there's this underlying element of that confidence and acceptability to just go out and play free and not let yourself get locked into those expectations. Maybe like a little bit of what Max is doing. Like maybe he needs to free up, put the clubs down for a couple weeks and just go out and play golf and not practice because he's putting in all this work and he's not, you know, yielding anything from that.
Yeah.
It's hard to say, but I mean, there are guys like that. There are guys that don't like to practice. Like John Rahm's like that. He's not a block practice guy. He likes to just go out and play golf.
hmm
And
Yeah, there's a line that you toe there, right? I mean, if
yeah,
you got it going good, sometimes I feel like when I'm swinging it really well, I want to get a lot of reps in swinging it well to try to kind of groove that muscle memory, um, and try to make it to where, raise my ceiling a
yeah,
little bit. But,
yeah,
uh, you know, and there's also times where like, man, if you're hitting it really bad, yeah, maybe sometimes you just need to take a week off from even going to the range and just go out on the course and try to make something work.
yeah,
Um, that'll do a lot for your game in general, right? I mean, be able to play okay whatever you got going,
yeah,
hit shots that you know you can hit
yeah,
versus if I've got it going, I want to hit all the shots, hit any shot I see, you know,
yeah. It looks good.
versus yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, if you don't have it going, you can't always just hit the shot that you're seeing in your head, right? I mean, you
Yeah.
got to hit the shot that like you can hit.
You can hit, and that's something that a lot of guys will talk about when they know they aren't striping it and they aren't having real high level predictability in their window and their ball flight is play ultra conservative to allow yourself to play into good golf. Because once you do that, if you guys are going through a stretch and where you're playing maybe not your best golf, try to even simplify it more. Try to get like overly conservative. If you know you're just not hitting fairways, okay, like you're not even coming close. Well, then at least just force yourself to miss on the right side of the hole, to allow yourself the right angle into the hole, into the green. And if you know you're just not hitting greens at all, well, then at least miss to the no trouble side of the green. Fly it over the green and miss the two short bunkers and give yourselves opportunities to just play into better golf. And that might help you, you know, string some pars together, string a bogey or two together. And the next thing you know, you're just playing more golf freely. And it allows you to hopefully, hopefully lower, your scores and get so out of your way.
Yep.
So, um, yeah, man. Dude, I like talking about practice and that kind of stuff. We haven't really done that a whole lot actually on the pod. We haven't really talked about
Been a minute.
practice or yeah.
Been a minute.
We did on like the first or second episode, but we
Hmm.
hadn't really since.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's fun to grind at something, especially when you're,
Yeah.
getting our age, 30 years old. This is our, this is our competition that we get
Yeah.
to play in. I mean, we grow up like we did. I mean, I played baseball and wrestled. Um,
Oh,
I
sports.
played
Yeah.
basketball for a while. And then football, obviously. Um, you know, you just love
That
to
all goes
compete.
away. Yeah.
As soon as I knew what sports were and I played in a game where someone wins or loses, like that's
Yeah.
just all. I mean, I'll watch anything on TV where someone wins or loses,
Yeah. World's
right? I
strongest
mean,
man. Put it on.
competition,
Yeah.
yeah, competition is just I mean, I
Yeah.
love that stuff.
Yeah. Well, and that's what makes golf so addictive for anybody that has that competitive desire because it's it's so competitive just with yourself. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to be playing against somebody for the competitive aspect, the difficulty of golf to drive
Hmm.
you to
Yeah,
want to keep doing it and get better at it, you know.
yeah, exactly. I've got a cousin that's, he's back in Stanbury, but he, played professionally for a while and he didn't go get his exam status after he kind of quit playing professionally. And then, he'd play against some of the guys around Stanbury a lot, but no one really keeps handicaps there. Um, so there's not really any fun competition for him because no one's going to beat him.
Yeah, right.
And then he finally got his AM status back and has, gotten to play in some amateur tournaments and stuff like that. And it's like this guy that, was on Canadian tour, shoot, probably 20 years ago now, for 10 years, 15 years. I mean, really couldn't have given a crap less about the game. But now he's got his AM status back and he's right back into it,
Yeah.
addicted to it just because it's the competition, man.
Yeah.
He just loves to compete. He's one of those guys. I mean, you don't want to play him in ping pong. You don't really want to play him in anything that's,
Yeah.
got a winner or loser. He's just very competitive,
Yeah.
um, very athletic.
Yeah. Speaking of which, um, competition. So I'm playing and Kate has asked me, I don't know, every year since we graduated high school to come back and play the alumni basketball tournament. And I never have, but this year I'm doing it. So that's
You're
next
doing it.
Saturday. I'm doing it. Yeah, I'm going to play. I actually play basketball on a pretty regular basis. I shoot at the Y every week. I
Uh,
mean, before my workout, I shoot for 20 minutes to get my heart rate up, and then I go, work out and do all that stuff. Um, so I'm hoping that my jump shot's kind of sharp, and I can go out there and I don't know,
yeah,
make
knocks
a
you
couple
down. Yeah,
make a couple buckets. That's all I'm hoping for. Yeah, make a couple buckets. But most
easy.
importantly is that we get the win.
Yeah, get the win. Also, let's come out of it healthy this
That
year.
well, that's really the
What,
main thing is don't go
what,
pull a hammy or
yeah,
twist an ankle.
we don't need an ankle injury like last year.
Facts. Yeah, absolute facts. We got a pretty solid team. Me, Cade, and Billy.
Hmm.
Um, and then we got Colton Clark. He's on our team too.
Okay.
So not the most athletic guy, but he's tall and he's physical. And so
Yeah.
he'll throw some bows down there in the post. So
There you go.
anyways, we'll in a couple weeks we'll check in on that. I'll let you know how that goes.
There
But
you go.
um all right, man. You got any closing thoughts for the pod? Anything you want to touch on for the practice talk, the Valspar, the Houston Open next week? Anything?
Not, I guess not a whole lot. The golf media wasn't such a huge buzz this week as it was last week. So
No, not a lot there.
I'm looking forward to some Texas golf. So
Yeah,
I guess
get them on
I was
Zoysia grass.
yeah, I was reading because this week's usually the WGC Dell match play, and I don't know if they moved that back in the year or
Is it?
just
The
that.
I thought the WGC was like in June, like after the U.S. Open. It's normally this time of year.
Yeah, I guess it's normally this time of year. I just read that, and I do remember it. The match play usually being around this time of the year. It's kind of start of the year. Um,
Now you got me curious.
yeah, that's kind of a
Um,
fan favorite that we're not getting. I don't know if they moved it back in the schedule or what.
um,
Surely they wouldn't take this one off, take that
oh
one
my
off the
goodness, dude.
schedule.
I don't see it on the. I'm looking at the PGA Tour schedule right now online, and I do not see it. That's really sad. It is not on the schedule, dude.
Yeah,
They
that's kind
took
of
it off.
dropping the ball.
That is
Everyone
dropping the
loves
ball big
match
time.
play events.
Everybody loves match play.
We've been begging for more match play.
Oh, and they took it away, dude. It's such a great event. Plus, that golf course down there is awesome.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
that par three with the rock wall there left that everybody hit it over and then try to flop it over and skull it
Hmm.
40 yards behind them. God, that sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. Dropped the ball on that one, I think. I mean,
I bet,
was a fan favorite.
yeah, I would imagine because the guys like the players have a very positive like that's what I'm looking for. I'm drawing a blank, but like they like it. Like they have
Yeah.
positive things to say about the tournament. They like match play. They like that it mixes it up a little bit. Kind of the same thing with the Zurich Classic, which that's still on the calendar, like a
Hmm.
small little like team, tournament. Like they like that too. Oh man, that sucks. All right. Well, hopefully they'll say a little something and they'll bring it back next year because that is
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I'd love to see like two or three match play tournaments like that a
yeah.
year.
You could do
I
you
would
could do
love to see
one you
that.
could do one early in the season, like out of Hawaii or California swing. Do another one this time of the year, early summer, and then do another one like late in the fall, like right before the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Uh,
I agree.
all right, man. Well, for you, go Gators. We'll
Mhm.
see if they can keep pushing through March Madness. And y'all make sure you guys subscribe, like, comment, share the show. That would be fantastic. Like I said, we really appreciate y'all listening in and seeing what us two yahoos got to say and chat about the world of golf. But until next time, Spencer, you'll have another baby when we do this next week. If you can't do it, you let me
Yeah,
know. It'll be no
yeah,
big deal. I'll fly solo. But if you can, let me know as well. We'll make sure we get it going. Yeah, folks, that's it. Stay tuned. See you, brother.
yeah.